My name is Tucker Gorman, and I'm a designer, artist, and natural builder based in Boulder Creek. 3 years ago, my wife and I moved our tiny home that I designed and built to the property where she grew up. We walk the woods often, and I can't say enough about my love for this region. My fascination with nature goes back to my childhood, growing up in the woods of Maine. I climbed trees and enjoyed meandering walks in our backyard forest. As I grew older and started to acquire woodworking skills, I began to appreciate the nuances of wood, its grain patterns, smell, feel, workability. Since I moved to California 10 years ago, the line between my work and play has been blurred. I truly love my craft and have lots of fun doing it, often with the help of my friends and family.
A week before the CZU fire, my wife and I took a long bike ride in Big Basin. I was glad I got to see the park before the devastation. Since then, I've driven through to observe how the park is regenerating and its trees are coming back. There's been several fires in the past few years that have deeply affected my life.
My favorite clients have a beautiful 100-acre property on the Sonoma-Napa border that was scorched by the Tubbs fire in 2017. I spent countless hours exploring those woods, scouting out materials for projects, both before and after the fire. Some of my all-time favorite pieces are there, getting slowly patinaed by the elements. A month before the fire, I finished a deck in a previously scorched fairy ring. This was a sobering experience for me, and one that has helped me grow as an artist, especially as it relates to lessons of permanence. My clients were understandably traumatized by the fire, and had a harder time seeing the same beauty that I could in the sculptural shapes of the burnt trees, or the fascination I had with collecting the screws left behind by the flames. We decided to rebuild in the same spot, but this time the structure was simpler and leaned more on the surrounding beauty rather than the intricacy of the design. I've used many fire-killed trees in both their blackened forms and milled to expose fresh wood grain. On that Napa property, we tried to regain some of that magic of the woods. I'm proud of that work and hope to do more like it in the future. Manzanita and madrone are my two favorite trees, while redwood is a close third, unparalleled in its resilience and abilities as a practical wood. More specifically, the horse-like look of naturally split, curly redwood is my all-time favorite wood texture. The CZU fire affected my family as we were forced to evacuate. We towed our tiny home away and spent the next few weeks worrying while also feeling very fortunate. After the massive storms of this past winter, I salvaged several special pieces of wood from the river and ocean beaches. This sort of treasure hunting is a favorite pastime of mine, and it's even more enjoyable when I find the perfect use. I would love the opportunity to create some art that can be enjoyed by a wider array of people. Too many of my projects are locked up behind fences, and a goal of mine is to be able to participate in more community-centered work. I have several ideas for the Art About that would engage visitors while displaying the beauty of wood and perhaps framing views of the park. This may include both freshly cut and burnt wood. I have a fondness for interactive sculptures, like walk-through portals and footbridges. I have lots of experience with timber framing, and those types of structures lend themselves to portability. What I build will be highly organic and will celebrate the subtleties of wood and renewal of the park, while being integrated with the environment and allowing for all to enjoy. Ultimately, I expect to be inspired by 2 immersive days spent in the park. It would be my honor to be chosen to help this historic park regrow from the ashes. We are now raising our 1-year-old daughter in that same tiny home where she was born. We feel very connected to the building, but also to the surrounding environment. Our proximity to the rustling branches and trickling San Lorenzo River remind us where we are. We hope to live here for many years to come, in harmony with the redwood forest.